Very good, bro.
All right, guys, we got rolling here. Welcome again. My name is Huston O'Connor. Welcome to another Solar Kings Tuesday. Glad you guys could be on. We've got a great group, almost 20, and a few more still coming in. So if you've got folks that are on your team that are not on the call, reach out to them, shoot them a quick text message. Hey, jump on for some training. Join us. So glad to see you guys here. We're going to get right into it. Don't have a whole lot specific planned, so I'm going to kind of open the floor toward the end for you guys. But let's start off by welcoming any new recruits we have on the call. Who's got new recruits, and if so, are they here? And we want to introduce anybody. Eric, you got anybody?
Hey, Houston. Currently, I don't think I have anybody new on the call.
Cool. Okay. Well, if anybody's new out there, jump in, speak up. We'd love to hear your story and hear more about you. But if you're not ready yet, welcome, and hopefully we can provide some value for the next 45 minutes or an hour, and just get you a little bit better on your solar journey. So welcome aboard, guys. Let's talk about a few success stories, recent success stories. I want to start out by opening the floor to any shout outs. We've got so many guys out there that are just killing it, having great success. So wanted to give the leaders an opportunity to maybe highlight someone that they've got on their team that's just killing it.
Hey, Houston, Willie.
Yes, sir. Willie, what you got, man?
Yes, Bran and Amber, man, they killing it here in Midlothian, and I just want to give them a shout out. These guys are busting butt, especially Amber. These guys, they working together as teammates, and I feel so proud of them. You know what I'm saying? Their success story, is impressive what they've been doing last couple of months.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Willie. Yeah, congratulations to Brandon and Amber. I know, it seems like every day they're posting another closed deal. So doing great things up there in Midlothian and really helping folks out at the same time. So who else has got somebody they want to shout out? Eric, you got anybody that you've been working with? Or I see Rob just unmuted.
Yeah, man, I wanted to give a shout out to Lyle Wing, man. He's been crushing it on our end. He got to his tier 2 ranking, and then he's also been growing our team. We just got I think between the two of us, 3 or 4 new consultants in the last 2 weeks. So we're just churning and burning, man. He's trying to hit our stride, and he's just doing great things. So I wanted to give him a huge shout out for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, congratulations, Lyle, on reaching tier 2. Big accomplishment. And next step is that tier 3 mentor status. So keep it up, man.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Eric, what you got, man?
I noticed somebody on here. Her name is Venice Robbins. And Venice has been, she's brand new. And I think she's only been in for about a week or 2. And she's been pumping it out with the proposals. We're trying to get, one closed. And I just want to say congratulations, Venice, and keep going. You're doing a great job.
Thanks. I'm loving it. I have no experience, but I'm in it to win it. Woo!
Hey, that's the great thing about Powur and the mentor platform. You don't have to have experience. All you have to do is be able to ask somebody for a CPS bill. That's all you got to do. Just ask for the bill. So awesome job. Congratulations. Keep it up. Moving on. Business is still crazy hot, guys. I mean, utility bills are still high, and now is the time. So you need to make sure, again, we talk about this a lot, but make sure that you are out there, putting your face out there, getting your name out there, so that when someone decides that it's time for them to start looking at solar, you're the first name they think of. So just continue to push and push, and I promise your phone will start ringing. So keep that up. Too many closed deals to count. Again, another week. I talked to one of our installers earlier who's in the San Antonio market. He has 110 Powur projects currently working. That's just in San Antonio. So great job to all you guys out there for just killing it and continuing to grow the business around here. The great thing is that's 110 new homeowners, but look around. There's still plenty of roofs that need solar. So the opportunity is still massive right now. And then last, I wanted to shout out, and we already kind of pointed this out with Lyle. Who else is tiered up this week? Do we have anybody else on the call that's gone from tier 1 to tier 2 or tier 2 to tier 3? All right. Well, if you're close, keep pushing. Keep going. That next deal is going to be the one that's going to get you there. So keep working hard, guys, and look forward to see even more names in that tier 2, tier 3 status soon. Important power updates. Obviously, most of us probably already saw last week the big announcement about the Inc. 5000 list that came out. Powur has moved up once again. We're now number 43 on the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies list with over 8,000% 3-year growth. 8,000%. That's insane, guys. And honestly, it's all thanks to you. Those of us who are out here as consultants, sharing the word and just spreading solar technology is what has allowed Powur to get there today. So thank you to everyone and congratulations to all you guys for the great work. So Thursday, the 25th at 7 p.m. Central, there's going to be a special presentation to announce this, but also a celebration. And so if you're available Thursday evening, jump on that Zoom call, powurhour.com, and check it out. I'm sure there's going to be some great information on that. Next, Powur credits. Who's seen the Powur credits announcement? Has everybody seen this? All right, so most of you are probably asking me, what are Powur credits and why are they here? So every time we request a proposal, we request a revision, or we request docs from Solo, that costs Powur money. And so Powur has come up with a system to allow us the ability to get the proposals we need, but then reward you for consistent closes. And so what they've done, everybody who's already currently on the platform has been preloaded with 20 credits. And those start today. Anything that you're doing as far as requesting proposals, requesting revisions, those all come out of those credits. So a new proposal costs 1 credit. A revision costs half a credit. And a contract request is half a credit. If you're a tier 1, that is split 50-50 with your mentor. So for you, a tier 1 proposal costs you half a credit and it costs your mentor half a credit. Now, where this comes back is for every deal that you close, you get an additional 10 credits. So essentially, as long as you can close 10% or better, you shouldn't really ever have to worry about the credit system. But if you're out there and you're just requesting proposals for no reason, you don't have a utility bill, it's not really a serious customer, they're just kicking tires. The objective there is to kind of shave some of that down and make sure that the people that we're requesting proposals and requesting docs on are real live customers. So just pay attention to that. If you do get beyond those 20 credits, don't worry, they're not going to hit your bank account. It's just going to roll over and get charged to you the next deal that you close. So they said that each one's about a $10 to $20 charge. So it's not crazy expensive, but think about the number of proposals that we do and the number of contracts we do, and it adds up quickly. So Eric, you got something you want to add on that?
Yes, thank you, Houston, for sharing this. Guys, this is nothing, this shouldn't be alarming to you. Any mom and pop organization that's a solar company, they're taking the money out of your commission, but they're not telling you that they are. These people are getting paid $1,500, $2,000 a deal, and they're getting paid less than us because there's a lot of adders and business expenses that they take out of their checks, especially paying every single level, whether if it's a manager, regional manager, director, all those levels are getting paid by the time the consultant gets paid. So here, Powur's just trying to be smart about their money, which is fine. They're a business, right? And so we all got to start doing better. For everybody that's on here, when that their goal is to be a tier 3 consultant, a mentor. This means you just have to be more sharp when it comes to requesting a proposal, and seeing if it's a serious deal or not. Somebody says, "Oh, I don't have a bill yet." I don't really like to request those proposals, because that tells me that the customer wasn't serious enough to really want a proposal. Now, of course, if they are customers that have a brand new home, that's different. They don't have a bill yet. But we just got to be smarter, about looking at our proposals and seeing if we can request them or not. Tier 3 consultants, make sure when you get the proposal, you're looking at the map to see if that blue marker is on the map, to see if, so you don't have to ask for a revision, or the solo team doesn't say, "Hey, your blue marker is not on the map. I need you to do a review. We need to do another one because you need to give us a latitude and longitude," right? These are things that you should already know. So again, this is just a smart business move by Powur. We're having a lot of people request proposals that aren't supposed to be requesting proposals, right? Like Houston said, we're looking for serious customers, and just be more sharp when requesting them. That's all I wanted to say.
I just got a text message, guys, just on kind of a tangent. One of my consultants just texted me. Does anybody know if the solar fans that are in Solo or the attic fan in Solo, are those solar powered? Does anybody know? Eric,
I'm like 80% sure that they are.
Hey, Houston.
Yep.
Hey, I have one on my house, and it is. I'll try to jump up and take a picture of it in a little bit. But yeah, it's just a 12 by 12 or 18 by 18 little panel that's on my roof. So yeah, it's solar panel powered.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Another benefit of these calls, right? You never know what's going to come out of them. Just a random question that quickly got answered. So Tim, thank you for that. Rob, thank you as well. Next update is the roofing certification. So we just got an email on this earlier today. Roofing certification is now available in Powur U. If you have some time, go check it out. It'll give you a lot of great information about more details on roofing, the different type of shingles that are out there, the different equipment that's required, and just get you next level in terms of being able to offer roofing with your solar projects. And then lastly, on the Powur updates list, we've got another update from the Summer of Champions. Here is your current top 20. These are the ones that are currently qualified to go to Mexico. And then your top 21 through 50, including 4 of our very own. So quick shout out to Tim, Eric, Robert, and Rob, and Jacob for all maintaining that top 50 list. Awesome work, guys. Jacob, you need one more deal to get into the top 50, man. 51 is not going to get you there. So great job. Congratulations to you. Remember, guys, this goes through the middle of September. So we've got about a month left on that to get in there and make sure that you're recruiting your folks, you're closing your deals, and getting those points to benefit for that event. So awesome stuff. Can't wait to see how many of our guys end up on that list at the end of the competition. So keep it up. So we're going to shift focus. I sent out kind of a last minute request. What do people want to talk about tonight? And I got a couple answers. So we're going to go through real quick and spend a little bit of time. I was able to get my hands on a copy of the presentation that Spencer gave us today during the Enphase office hours. So I'm going to share that with you guys real quick, just so you can see kind of what Enphase has rolling out and what's going to be happening here. So The Enphase system, they've kind of simplified the way that they're presenting the Enphase options. They're now showing it as partial home backup, which is either a 3 kilowatt or a 10 kilowatt battery solo. Adding in the option for growth over time, all the way up to complete home backup. So let's see. One of the big benefits of Enphase over, let's say, SolarEdge or Tesla, or really any of the other battery options that are out there, is the fact that Enphase builds and manufactures all of the components of the system. So if you go out and you buy Enphase microinverters with or let's just say SolarEdge inverter with a Tesla Powerwall, the SolarEdge app is not going to allow you to manage the Tesla Powerwall. The Tesla app's not going to allow you to manage the inverter. So you have to essentially work 2 or potentially 3 different applications in order to run your entire system. Whereas Enphase allows you to run the entire system through the one Enlighten app. So that centralized technology, seamless integration where everything's communicating together, just simplifies the entire process. You get all the power in the palm of your hand. You can follow your generation, your storage, your usage, and control all of your different components all right there. So pretty simple setup. Next big benefit of Enphase versus SolarEdge or Tesla or most of the other batteries out there is the chemical makeup of the battery. For those of you who don't know, Enphase uses lithium iron phosphate, which is a much more stable chemical makeup than the traditional NMC lithium ion battery that's used in most other battery options. So SolarEdge is an NMC battery, Tesla's an NMC battery. Who can tell me what happens to an NMC battery if it gets punctured? Like, let's say you got the battery in your garage and you accidentally back into it. What happens to that battery? Does anybody know?
Kaboom.
Kaboom, exactly right. It basically goes into an uncontrolled meltdown and catches fire. Not good. So whereas the Enphase doesn't have that same issue, you can puncture the Enphase battery and nothing will happen. Very, very simple setup. It's free of toxic materials. And like it says on here, it's zero possibility of thermal runaway. So you can really save your homeowner a lot of headaches and potentially their life by giving them a battery that's gonna be more beneficial to them. Another benefit is that they last longer. So NMC batteries have a fairly quick degradation term, whereas lithium iron phosphate is going to last quite a bit longer. You can see here on the chart, within about 5,000 cycles, that NMC battery, or 500 cycles, excuse me, that NMC battery is going to be already down to close to 90%. Whereas the lithium iron phosphate battery takes almost 2,000 cycles to get down to 90%. So longer term, higher storage capacity, better longevity with those batteries as well. Simply safer. Like I said, this kind of shows you the chart outlining the thermal runaway potential and how much easier it is and how much safer they are. Rigorous testing. Obviously, they've gone through all the testing. One thing that I thought was interesting that Spencer mentioned today, they offer a 10-year warranty, but what do you think the actual lifespan on one of these batteries is? Do you think it's 10 years? Not at all, right? At 10 years, you're still going to be about 85% efficiency, which means 15, 20 years down the road, you're still going to be getting energy from that battery. So the lifespan of these is much, much better. And they've been much more rigorously tested. Another thing he mentioned that I thought was kind of interesting and something that I can mention to homeowners, more and more utility companies are requiring that batteries be UL 9540 certified. And not all batteries on the market have this level of certification. So that's yet another step forward that Enphase is able to provide in terms of providing the necessary certifications in order to even be able to install in some markets. So definitely something to keep in mind there as well. This is another cool thing that he talked about. So StormGuard is a pretty neat setup to where the app will basically recognize if a storm's coming and automatically switch your system into max storage mode. So essentially, it's going to use the grid, it's going to use your solar power, but it's not going to use the battery because it knows a storm is coming. And so it's going to save that for a potential outage. Over-the-air updates, that's another massive one. One of the cool things is that as they continue to roll out new features, even those homeowners who already have their systems installed get to benefit from that through those over-the-air updates. And then you've got the seamless backup mode. So with the smart switch, you've got automatic switchover to where you're not going to see any blip in your process. Everything's going to be smooth and easy to transition. And then the actual way that the battery is set up too. So with most inverter or with most battery setups, they either contain one inverter inside the battery or they actually use the same string inverter that the solar system is using. One of the cool things about Enphase is that inside the battery, they have their own IQ8 microinverters. A 3 kilowatt battery has 4 microinverters. A 10 kilowatt battery has 12 microinverters. So if you have an issue where one of those inverters fails, with a traditional battery, you lose the entire capacity of the battery. With Enphase, you just lose a small percentage of the battery until you can get it repaired. It's very easy to get them fixed. Those microinverters are that big around. They're easily modular. So if you do have a failure, it's a quick fix. You don't have to send the battery off for repair or anything like that. Super, super simple. So let's talk about the different options as far as battery backup setup. So Enphase storage is the new terminology that they're using for a partial home backup. And that basically would qualify as a 3 kilowatt or a 10 kilowatt battery, most of which are going to give you, 4 to 6 circuits roughly of backup power. They include the smart switch, they include the all-in-one Enphase app, generator integration, and the safe long-lasting capacity. The next step up from that is storage plus, and that's double the capacity to 20 kilowatts. Same thing, all loads backed up. So you get to back up the entire home, not just part of the home. You get automatic load control. This is a cool feature that they just rolled out recently, where each individual breaker that's backed up gets put on load control. And what that means is, let's say, for example, the battery has the capability of putting out 20 amps at a time. But you already have a light that's pulling a couple amps. You have a TV that's pulling a couple amps, and your refrigerator needs to start up. Now that initial startup on the refrigerator is going to take, 4, 5, 6 amps to get it going. And if the system recognizes, once that refrigerator tries to kick on, if the system recognizes that it's pulling more than the 20 amps that it's able to output, it will adjust the output to those other circuits to allow that fridge to turn on. It does it all in real time. It's super quick, and it makes sure that your system has the capacity to run multiple devices at the same time. So pretty cool setup. And then you see here too, soft start for an air conditioner. So 20 kilowatt system is the minimum that you typically need for most AC units in order to have soft start capacity. So, and then you've got load control. So this is what I was just talking about. You see here in the app, you can manually or set it to automatic load control, where you can switch over the AC compressor, the washing machine. So if you don't need the washing machine, turn it off. That way for sure it's not pulling away from the available amperage that the system's allowed to put out. So really cool setup there. Something that they just rolled out and is now being included on all Enphase battery backup systems. Ultimately, load control allows you to back up more loads because you can now control which ones go on and which ones don't. So pretty cool stuff right there. So basic sizing. This is just a real basic setup for how big do you need if you wanted to do whole home backup. You take your daily kilowatt hour, which you've got in this example 800 kilowatt hours a month divided by 30 days in the month. That's 26 kilowatt hours a day. 26 kilowatt hours by 3/4. That's the recommended calculation that they give you. Means you need the capacity of about 19.5 kilowatt hours daily. If you're looking at that from a battery perspective, this particular situation would probably need at least 20 kilowatts, if not maybe 23 with a 3 kilowatt. I know Powur's not doing the 3 kilowatt as an add-on yet, but hopefully that's coming soon. So any questions on any of these guys? I know I'm kind of burning through quickly. Just trying to review some of the stuff that they shared with us today. All right, so how much power do you need? Each in charge 10, so that each 10 kilowatt batteries can produce 20 amps. So how many loads can you back up with 20 amps? A lot of it's going to depend on what kind of loads you're backing up. You know, backing up LED lights and a fan is not going to take the same amperage load that backing up a refrigerator will, or a freezer or something like that. So the number of circuits that you're able to back up is going to be dependent on how many amps are required, what the draw is on the system. So keep that in mind. Design limitations, just a couple of things to keep an eye out for. It may require a main panel upgrade. Keep that in mind. If you're not sure, always use that to be determined main panel. All equipment co-located. It's not for existing systems, so you can't retrofit this onto an existing system. It is compatible with IQ6, 7s, and even the 215s and the 250s, the older ones, and your PV to storage ratio. So you got to have at least 1.5 times the size solar system for the storage capacity that you've got. So easy to design. Who has gone to the estimator page on Enphase? Has anybody gone to the estimator on the Enphase website? If you haven't done it, go mess around with it. It's a really cool app that basically you can go in there and you can say, I want to be able to back it up for 10 hours. I want to run my refrigerator, 2 TVs, this, that, the other, and it'll tell you exactly what size system you need based off of the equipment that you want to back up. So if you haven't done that, go check it out, estimator.enphaseenergy.com, or you can just Google Enphase estimator and it pops right up there too. That's it as far as the Enphase presentation that we got today. Who has questions on Enphase? Anything that I can answer, help you guys out with? Then the last thing I'll tell you, every Tuesday, Spencer hosts an office hours open forum. Tuesdays at 1 o'clock Central via Zoom. If you need to find that, you can find it in your Powur back office in Knowledge Base. So check that out. I jumped on because I had a couple specific questions this week and ended up coming away with a lot more information than I wanted going into it. So really, really good stuff there. I highly recommend, if you're available, jump on there and check it out. So I've got the open discussion. One other thing that I wanted to mention that Rob asked me to go over was some strategies for staying within the price per watt in CPS territory. Wanted to open it up. I know what I typically do, but I want to hear what some of the other mentors, some of the other leaders on the call do when they're fighting that $4 price per watt cap. Who wants to speak up? Eric, you want to tell us what your secret sauce is for that?
Yeah, so I am in San Antonio. I'm leading with the 4.99 interest rate. When I first started in the industry, 4.9 was what I led with anyway, and I was, doing really well. Is there a lot of competition now? Yes, there is. So you need to understand the differences between having a higher interest rate versus a lower interest rate. And your customer needs to know that too. Your competition is probably showing 1.9, 1.49. But I have the conversation with my customer that, look, we have options. If my customer is looking to save money, which they all are, I'm going to say, look, just so you know, there's a lot of dealer fees associated with this very low interest rate. And so this is how much your loan amount will come out to. Versus, let's take a look at a 4.9, 5.9, 6.9. So their loan fees will be much lower, allowing you to make a decent sized commission on your deal. And, you're giving them options. And so if they're the type of customer that's going to pay more on their payment to get rid of it faster, then why not show them a higher interest rate with a lower balance? And so that helps me. So so I'm leading with 4.9. I do mention that we have lower interest rates, but I also mentioned that it will increase the total loan amount because of loan dealer fees. And so I think that comes in with discovery with your customer, finding out how they like to pay their bills, if they like to pay the minimum amount, or do they like to pay over? Hope that makes sense, Houston.
Makes perfect sense. And, a lot of that is kind of the same strategy that I use for it. So glad to hear we're doing the same thing. But so for me, let me share here. Anyway, sorry, my computer just messed up on me. So here are some of the strategies that I use when I'm fighting that price per watt. So first thing you always want to do is go in and build the system that you need. So if you need a main panel upgrade, go ahead and put it in now. Put in your 30-year Powur Care warranty. If you want an attic run or multiple arrays, anything that you know you need to include in adders, go put it on right away. And then start there with your preferred margin. Start with what you want to make and work backwards from there. Sometimes you're going to have to move your margin down. Like Eric said, a great way to do that is by offering a higher interest rate financing. So consider your inverter costs. I know, I prefer to sell Enphase. 90% of the time, I think it's just a little bit better option for me and for my clients. But there are scenarios, particularly on smaller systems, where the difference in cost between the IQ8s and say a SolarEdge 5000 is significant. It can be $2,000 or $3,000 difference in cost. And on those deals in particular, sometimes you got to switch over to SolarEdge. So keep that in mind. Toggle that as an option when you're trying to mess with the price per watt. Adjust your incentives. So I can tell you guys right now, I quit offering the new customer incentive in CPS territory, because all that's doing is adding to the margin, or it's adding to the amount financed, which is going against my price per watt. So I have quit offering that unless I'm using it as a last minute closing tool, in which case I'm offering it by dropping my margin to get it there. So something to consider there. Next, we've already talked a little bit about this, manage your dealer fees. The reality is we probably can't offer 149 or 199 in CPS anymore, unless it's just a massively large system. Eric said he's starting at 499, 599. I'm typically there too. I'm somewhere between 299 and 499 as my starting point, depending on my client. More and more, I'm offering the Mosaic 6.29, which is a 2.5% dealer fee. And the reason I'm offering that, if I've got a homeowner who's on the fence of paying cash versus financing, or someone that tells me that they're going to pay this off quickly, I flat tell them, I say, look, I would be doing you a disservice to offer you the 199 rate and tack on that much extra in your principal balance. So take the higher interest rate. It's a simple interest loan. If you pay it off in a year, you only pay the 6.29 for a year, but it's saving you thousands of dollars in your principal balance. That's been a great way for me to manage that while not completely blowing up my margins. And then as a last resort, you got to adjust the margin. You know, at some point, that's just the last thing you can do is drop your margin and get it there. Or, I mean, explain to the customer, look, because you need a main panel, or because, you know, it's a ground mount, I just can't get you to that $4 a watt threshold. In which case, if you've got a special scenario like that, make sure you talk to your project manager and have them file the paperwork to get a waiver on that. There are scenarios where CPS will give you a waiver to go over the $4 a watt. So don't be afraid to have your project manager go through that extra work. So anything else that I haven't covered that some of you guys are using as tools to battle that price per watt cap?
I just want to remind everybody that this is just San Antonio. San Antonio, unfortunately, is the only utility that requires we do this. There's a lot of business in Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Florida, California, where we don't have to worry about these things. But it is what it is here in San Antonio. Everybody has to deal with it. So that's it.
Yep. Good point. Yeah, it is only San Antonio. So for those of you guys who are selling outside of the San Antonio market, continue to do right by your customer. Make sure you're giving them competitive and aggressive pricing, and you know, not price gouging, but you don't have to deal with that limitation here. So anybody else want to tack on anything else?
No, man. Hey, I appreciate you. Sorry, go ahead.
Matt?
What are some reasons why they would do that waiver for CPS?
What I've heard so far, most of them have to do with mounting. So, you know, if you've got a ground mount or, you know, a specific mounting scenario, I've heard of them waiving it for that. I don't know if they'll do it for main panel upgrade. I don't think so, but you know, it's something that we may need to ask and double check. But the main one is mounting or battery backup. Obviously, if you've got a battery included, they'll waive it.
Okay, thanks.
All right, guys. That's all I've got as far as training. Eric had asked me, Christian, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yeah, Christian, I wanted to give you a couple minutes. Christian has just started his own roofing company, guys. So wanted to give him a minute or two to just kind of promote it, tell us what he's doing there, and you know, share his successes.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this because we have one of our own consultants on the team that understands our process. He understands the Powur process. And I think that's very important when it comes to, you know, needing somebody on your side that's looking out for you, right? So if you were to add a roof to a deal, well, you know, we're getting paid on the solar deal, but what about the roof, right? and most of these roofing companies are getting about 100 or maybe if you're lucky, $200 for a referral. Christian's offering a $500 referral, ladies and gentlemen. So this is huge. It's huge because he understands our part in the solar process, and he's giving away a lot of money just for doing roofs. So this is, I consider this like a sixth stream of income for us. Like we have somebody in our team that can take care of us, and that's not going to screw us over or say, oh, the insurance check didn't work out with the customer. Sorry, I can't pay you. So I know, Willie, you have a question. Let's let Christian go first. And then Willie has a question, Christian. But tell us a little bit about some of the main benefits, Christian, and what you're working on with Senior Roof.
All right. Thank you, guys. Can you hear me? All right.
Yes.
Perfect. So first and foremost, I want to apologize. I was supposed to be at home in front of my computer, but I ran a last-minute consultation for one of my mentees. So I'm on the road, but I just pulled over right now to kind of continue to give everyone on the team some information. I was doing some deals that required a roof, whether it was moving vents around to put more panels, there was damage, there was hail damage, wind damage, storm damage, or sometimes I did some that was a really old roof. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not. If it's a really old roof, there is no claim. You have to pay for it out of pocket. The only way that you can get another new roof is if there's any damage, and if the inspector goes out there, the assessor for that particular insurance company, and they deem that it is worthy of them filing a claim and getting that through the insurance, which means they still got to pay a deductible. The other thing is that if they don't qualify for the insurance claim, now they have to pay out of pocket. Most of the roofs that I've seen are $10,000 to $14,000. Most people don't have that. But if they're going solar anyway, we might as well include that into the project, because now they're paying a really low interest, which is the project interest rate, right? Now they don't have to pay a deductible. They don't have to pay anything out of pocket. And now they have a sturdy and sound roof where they could put the solar on. Now, this is no secret. Whenever we would send deals through Powur, like through roofing@powur.com, Powur will tack on 20 to 30% extra. That 20 to 30% could put your approval over, and now you can't even do the deal. So I am vetted through Powur. The company Senior Roof is vetted through Powur, which means that if you come through me, we're not going to tack on any additional fees through Powur. Whatever the quote that I give you is, that's it. There's no more. No one else has their hand in the cookie jar. And aside from that, because I'm in the solar business as well, I can talk to that customer in case it started to go sideways on you. I can answer questions, overcome objections to make sure that we can move your project forward with the roofing that is not tacking on an additional 20 to 30%. And on top of that, we're going to compensate you with $500 right back to you. So now it's not only 5 different ways of getting paid. If your project needs a roof, now you have 6 ways of getting paid if you refer that roofing project through me. I'll take your questions now, Willie.
Yes, first of all, congratulations, Christian. Awesome what you're doing, man. Your business is growing, and I'm proud of you. Hey, are you just operate in the San Antonio area, or you open to the Dallas area too?
First of all, thank you, Willie. Thank you for those kind words. I want to say this. Solar commissions have allowed me to open up a different area. I will say that. If you're looking for life-changing money, you're at the right place at the right time with the right people. We service the entire state of Texas. We have crews locally in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, but then those crews can move around strategically anywhere in the state. So we can service the entire state of Texas. We're working on an Arizona licensing, also Florida, and the Carolinas coming soon. I will keep everybody posted on that. But as of now, we can service the entire state of Texas.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Willie. Anybody else have any questions that I could possibly answer for you on the roofing side?
Christian, how easy is it for somebody to submit a lead to you?
The same way that we submit leads through Powur. We need a name, phone number, email, and an address, a physical address. Those 4 key components is all I need. And then from there, similar to Solo, where we do a satellite image, we will do the same thing. Off of that satellite, we're gonna know how many squares we need, square footage, the pitch, what kind of tile it is, is it asphalt, what color. There's so many things that we can gather from that, similar to Solo imaging. And what I'll do is I'll probably put something on the group chat so you guys can kind of get an idea what it looks like. But all we need is name, phone number, email address, and a physical address. And that's pretty much it. We can have that back to you, similar like Solo, we can have that back to you in a couple of hours, the same day typically. Any other questions, anyone?
So Christian, we would just add that as a roof adder. You say you're already vetted through.
That is
through
correct.
Powur,
So that is correct. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a proposal for you. We're gonna send that via email, and then you're gonna upload that in the assets tab. You're gonna say, hey, I've got a proposal. That's kind of giving a red flag to Powur. Hey, don't send it through your roofing at powur.com. I've got a proposal. I've already put it into the adders. It's already figured into that project. That's kind of telling them, don't send it through your roofing department, because I've heard other people complain as well when we were talking about roofing on Powur Pioneers, where somebody said that. A national leader said, hey, Jonathan, but when we do this, it tacks onto the additional cost of the roof, and it kind of throws our numbers off, and sometimes the client doesn't qualify. So yes, we'll send you an email. We upload that to the tab section, and then we let roofing know, hey, this is the company we're going with. And because we're already vetted, we don't need to do anything else. Those numbers that I send you are the numbers that you put on the adders.
And so it'll just work the same after the installation. They'll send the check to the homeowner, and then the homeowner will pay you.
No, it's actually a little bit different. Before the solar is installed, Powur pays us, which means that then we get to pay you before even that solar system installs. Any other questions?
We have a question. We have a question. Hailstorms, can you handle that? Also, hurricane season for Houston clients.
Yeah, so if you guys want to keep your eye out, let's say that it's not a solar project, but you know, friends, family members, co-workers, someone in your neighborhood that has suffered from hail damage, storm damage, wind damage, there's missing shingles, any of those things will add an additional revenue to you, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a solar project. It could be just you're referring someone who needs a roof. But yes, absolutely. And some of that damage we can tell by the satellite imaging that we use if there's damage there. So that's a very good question. Right now, we're at just the beginning of storms and hail and damage coming our way. So just keep your eye out in the neighborhood or people that you network with and see if they need a roofing project. But it's a great way to also talk about, hey, now that you have a new roof, my friend or my sister or Mr. Smith, now that you have a new roof, have you considered going solar? So you can actually benefit. And remember this, guys, when we are getting 1.25 bips from the loan side, this is adding to that loan, which means that you're making more money on two ends. More money because it's a higher loan amount, and also more money because we're going to give you a referral for $500. Those are great questions, Eddie. And if anyone else has any questions, please let me know. Message me, or I'll take a couple of more if you guys have them. Nope, looks like we're all good. So Mr. Huston, I want to send it back to you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for leading us on this call. Eric, thank you so much for the couple of minutes that I had as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Christian. And again, congratulations on the new venture. And happy to see you continue to grow your business and grow your reach. So congratulations, man. Anybody else have anything that they want to talk about tonight? I know we've got about 10 minutes left, or I can give you 10 minutes back of your night. So anybody else have any questions, anything that we can answer before we call it a day?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes. Be on the lookout for an event with myself and William Contreras here in San Antonio, Texas on September 10th. We need to pack the house as a team. Okay. September 10th, I'll get back with you with a location. But we will have William Contreras in San Antonio, Texas for us and anybody else that wants to join here in San Antonio. I'll be coming up with some information on that.
Awesome. Awesome. Look forward to seeing that then, Eric. Congratulations on that. Anybody else got anything that they want to add?
Hey, Houston.
Hey, Mike.
I don't want to nitpick it too much, but as far as the point system, I know I've had just recently a couple of projects I was working on. We requested a revision. We're very specific on what we were needing on the revision, and the revision came back either the same way or not exactly what we're looking for. So of course we had to request another revision, and I'm just wondering if there's any way for us to go back and say, hey, look, I requested a revision, but and of course, I don't expect it with starting off with 20 points. I don't expect it to get to that point that we're going to be nitpicking half points here and there. But just if there are issues with revisions coming back, is there any way we can say, hey, man, can I get my points back? Because, we requested a revision and you all just didn't follow through.
Yeah, at the moment, I don't believe they're offering that option. I've seen a couple threads on the Powur Pioneers page specifically talking about that. And so it's definitely something that leadership is aware of. And, I think the nice thing about this is that now Solo knows that Powur is holding us as consultants accountable. And so that gives Powur just that much more leverage to go back to Solo and say, look, we're holding our guys accountable. I need you to be have the same level of accountability. And so I'm very confident that they're going to get something worked out on that to where everybody's happy, whether that means they give you that point back or, whatever the case may be, they're going to come up with a solution to that. But for the time being, that's why they gave you 20 to start out with. Anybody that signs up today only starts with 10. So the 20 was only for existing consultants. So they gave us a little bit of extra leg, a little bit extra room to make that happen. And at the end of the day, if you want more points, go close a deal. That's what it's all about.
There you go. Sounds good.
Anything else, guys? All right. Well, I am going to give you guys 6 minutes of your night back. Thank you for joining us and jumping on the call. Hope we were able to get you some good information tonight. I will share that Enphase slide deck, just so you know, that was available in the Powur back office. It's in Knowledge Base. If you go to Knowledge Base, search Enphase, it's in there. There's a ton of information in there about Enphase and about the battery backup in particular. Highly recommend you go check that out and sign up to get Enphase certified too. So thanks guys, and y'all have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks everyone.